You know, usually when you talk about finding your purpose or designing your life, it sounds a bit like, a poetry assignment.
Yeah, very abstract.
Right, totally abstract. You're told to look up at the stars, follow your heart, find your passion, and it's a beautiful sentiment, but it's completely unmeasurable.
It's an inspiring idea, sure, but we rarely know how to actually build it step by step. I mean, there are no schematics for a feeling.
Exactly. But what if you treated life design exactly like an engineering project? Welcome to today's exploration into our source material.
Which is fascinating, by the way.
It really is. To figure out how to actually measure purpose,
Right.
we're looking at a stack of notes in a highly structured, localized manual. It was originally created by pharmacist and Dr. Weerapong Chin.
Also known as Dr. Genk.
Right, Dr. Kaeng. And our mission today is to unpack his framework for self-discovery and life design.
And I should say, this isn't just an academic syllabus.
Yeah.
It is a literal blueprint for transitioning from a, quote, old life to a new life. It takes those lofty, abstract concepts and breaks them down into measurable, actionable formulas.
And before we dive into the mechanics of that blueprint, Dr. Genk's framework actually sets some rules of cooperation for the process.
Oh, the rules.
Yeah, it asks the user to open their mind, learn happily, and respect others.
Which is a great mindset to have.
So keeping that collaborative, open tone in mind for your own journey through this audio, well, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
If life is an engineering project, where does the construction of this new life actually begin?
Well, it begins with inventory. I mean, before anyone can design their future, they have to know exactly what materials they're building with.
Makes sense.
Methodology calls this assessing your self-capital. It asks you to define your starting point, like who are you? Who is your family?
And it asks you to think about your own hometown for a second, right? Because
Yeah.
this framework goes way beyond just your personal resume.
Or way beyond.
It asks what is interesting about the place you grew up. The culture, the traditions, the local arts. It's like the character creation screen in a role-playing video game.
No, I like that comparison.
You aren't just rolling the dice for your own personal stats. You're actually logging the stats of your hometown and your family history as your foundational equipment.
Which is deeply intentional, especially because of who this manual was originally designed for.
Right, the scholarship students.
Yeah, Dr. Kaeng created this for university scholarship students in the southern border provinces of Thailand.
Right.
So this is a highly specific, complex, and culturally rich demographic. Success in this framework isn't some hyper-individualistic pursuit,
So it's not just about me, me, me.
Exactly. It asks you to look at your environment and decide what you want to change across 4 specific dimensions.
And those are social, economic, health, and environment, right?
Yes. Social, economic, health, and environment.
So by rooting your starting strengths in your community's culture, the methodology connects your personal growth directly to community improvement.
Precisely. And it measures those baseline stats using a SW canvas, so strengths and weaknesses.
Like a SWOT analysis, but just SW.
Pretty much. And strengths are what you'd expect, right? Your knowledge, your skills, areas where you have high confidence.
Sure.
But the definition of weakness is completely reframed here.
How so?
Well, it defines weaknesses as fears, like things you don't dare to do, or areas where you are simply lacking readiness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you've mapped out your hometown and your fears, you know your environment and the job site, basically.
Right.
But none of that matters if your internal engine isn't built to handle the work.
No, it doesn't.
So how does this framework actually diagnose what's going on in someone's head?
It does it by dividing human nature into 2 distinct parts. You've got above ground and underground.
Okay, so like a tree.
Yeah, like a tree. The above ground part is your personality. It actually uses the DISC model to categorize your surface behavior.
Remind me, DISC is like dominant, inspiring.
Yeah, exactly. Whether you're the loud, decisive leader, the inspiring talker, or the quiet, careful team player.
Got it. And then you have the underground, which is your character.
Right.
And these are like 20 deep-seated traits, right?
Yeah.
Integrity, honesty, loyalty, respectfulness, compassion.
And the methodology even asks you to identify the influential people in your life who have shaped these traits.
Okay, but wait, let me push back on this above ground, underground metaphor for a second.
Sure, go for it.
If we're treating life design like an engineering project, it feels less like a tree and more like architecture. Like, if character is underground, is it essentially the invisible foundation of a building?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's absolutely the foundation of a skyscraper.
Okay.
I mean, those underground traits, things like perseverance and self-discipline, Those are structural anchors.
Right, right.
You can build a flashy, dominant personality that looks incredible to the public above ground. But that surface architecture can only handle pressure if it's sitting on those 20 deep-rooted character values.
I see.
Without that underground foundation of integrity or resilience, the skyscraper collapses the moment it faces real-world stress.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though.
Yeah.
We have our starting inventory, our self-capital. We've poured our psychological foundation.
The underground stuff.
Right. The next phase is taking that raw potential, educating it, and pointing it at a specific target to actually create that new life.
And this is achieved through the 3 levels of learning.
Okay.
Level 1 is the self-capital we just discussed, understanding yourself, your family, your community.
Right.
Level 2 is local wisdom. So that's the culture, the traditions, and the knowledge of village philosophers.
And then level 3?
Level 3 is global knowledge.
Mhm.
Research, science, tech, global professions.
I picture this like looking through a telescope.
A telescope.
Yeah, like you start off looking through the narrow end at yourself, your self-capital.
Yeah.
Then you pull it out a notch to see your immediate surroundings, the local wisdom.
Okay, I follow.
And finally, you extend it all the way out to see the stars, taking in all that global knowledge.
Well, a telescope implies you're just looking from afar, though.
Fair point.
It's actually more like climbing a ladder.
Oh, a ladder.
Yeah, think back to those scholarship students from the rural Thai provinces. They need this framework to succeed on a global stage, but they can't reach the global knowledge at the top of the ladder unless the legs are firmly planted in the local wisdom at the bottom.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right. You don't abandon your hometown's culture to become a global citizen. You stand on it.
Stands on it. I love that. And the mechanism that guides that climb is the personal mission statement formula.
It really is. And it is remarkably elegant.
It's the value you create, plus your target audience, plus the expected outcome.
Exactly. And the source text provides a highly specific, real-world example of this in action.
Yeah, it's not just a vague, I want to be a good person kind of thing.
No, not at all. The example is, when I graduate from Chulalongkorn University, I will be an English teacher in my hometown so they can communicate.
Value, target, outcome. Boom.
Boom. But this raises the most crucial question of the entire framework. Like, how do you guarantee that outcome?
Right, because saying it is one thing.
Exactly. This is where the theory of change comes in. It demands that you identify a specific obstacle, define the steps to overcome it, and map out your long-term goals.
Okay.
Most importantly, it demands KPIs, key performance indicators.
Which usually sounds like corporate jargon. How does that actually apply to a humanitarian goal, like life design?
Well, it forces you to put a strict mathematical yardstick on an abstract desire.
Okay, give me an example.
If your mission is to help your hometown communicate, your KPI isn't feel good about teaching.
Right.
It's number of local kids who pass a B1 English certification by 2028.
Oh, wow, that is specific.
It is. It's not enough to just drift through an old life hoping you'll end up somewhere good.
Right.
You have to mathematically measure your progress towards your vision.
Man, so what does this all mean for you, listening right now? We've gone on quite a journey today.
We really have.
We started with taking a raw inventory of your hometown and your self-capital. We poured an underground foundation of character to support your personality.
The skyscraper foundation.
Exactly. And finally, we looked at climbing that ladder from local wisdom to global knowledge.
You can literally take Dr. Gang's formula, value plus target plus expected outcome, and apply it to your next big project or career move today.
Yeah, it's about extreme intentionality, taking the abstract desire for a good life and executing it with the rigor of a structured design.
Well said.
Which brings us to one final, profound question from the source material. It asks, what is the heartfelt statement you want others to remember you by when you are gone?
It's a heavy question.
It really is. So think about your own trajectory right now. If you were forced to measure the legacy of your current old life using the strict measurable KPIs demanded by this framework,
The number?
right, the hard numbers, would your current metrics successfully yield the new life you actually want to be remembered for? Or is it time to redraw the blueprints?